just want to get in people's minds now to be responsible for yourself out there and for others. I mean, you had the kid, that was killed for us last summer. The court, they found him guilty, sentenced to 8 years in prison, and has to serve 100% of his time. The incidents were, I think 12 or 13 people is moving very slowly across the lake. This basketball comes up, this man operating. His wife does not see them and runs completely over the back of this boat and through like the tower, how close to that center of stuff. And that young man lost his life. And so that is.
You don't pay safety, you'll face death.
It's not
I guess they should make. I wonder if they made a movie about facing the death in 2024 about boat accidents like that. Like the car.
It's not really has to be a plan away. We're looking for was the operator impaired or not, and we can't successfully prosecute you at a little bit away.
129 voting under the influence arrests last year in Tennessee. What's the trend with that?
It's probably going to be consistent from year to year. I would say KPD and Knox County probably make that like maybe DUIs in a week's time. People say, well, it's not very many if you consider the entire state, but it's not that simple to make a DUI arrest. It takes a lot of other things. We don't have lanes of traffic out there, so you don't really get this swerving and weaving. We don't have traffic signs, traffic lights, so there are things that an officer really has to concentrate on to determine to stop them first of all. We need reasons to stop the boat. Can't stop them and check for safety compliance anymore. So anyway, it's kind of a different animal out there, and to be honest with you, we could use a lot more officers out there. But the more that we can come out, we will be out before the staff.
Did you hear the one about the microwave?
To try to make everything only looking for on the holiday weekends. Anytime our officers are out there looking for impaired operators, but there will be more of us out next weekend, and we will definitely be looking to move their operators for
Will you be, I'm assuming you will, spot checking, the variety of things that you spot check when you're out on the waters with your officers?
Yeah, we look for a reason to stop the boat most of the time. So, there are things that you can do to keep us off your back, and we want people to do that. We want to go to the lake and look at a boat, and we want to see kids in life jackets. We want to see the registration on the side. We want to see people sitting down in a seat, not up on the side, so where they could fall off. We want to see an operator operating responsibly, not negligently or too fast during certain conditions, and wave at you, and you have a good day.
Jason's got a question for you, Matt. Matt Cameron, Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Jason, good morning, sir.
Good morning, and thank you guys for doing this. I had one question. Now I have two, actually, since what you were talking about. If I can hit this real quick. What are the rules concerning just the simple consumption of alcohol when you're on the boat? Is it a matter of you can't have anything while you're actually operating it? Or, because I know with vehicles you've got open container laws and all that kind of stuff. How does that work for boats?
Great question, Jason. And this is, in my mind, this has always been a problem for TWRA law enforcement on the water is that you can, I hate to say this, you can legally drink and drive a boat in Tennessee and impaired. So if you have self-control and you can have a beer or two throughout the day and it doesn't affect you, then I don't think there's a problem there. But most people don't have that much self-control, especially if it's a party atmosphere. Everybody in the boat's having the big time, they're jamming out. That operator wants to join the party, and they end up putting themselves in a bad position.
So you can have an open beer in your hands while you're operating. I know it's not recommended, but I think if they're an open container for a driver in Tennessee, you just can't do that in a car. In a boat, you can. You just maybe it's your first one, half a beer, whatever. That is not necessarily against the law.
That's not that's the truth, but that is the case.
Okay.
Can do it.
Jason, okay, so just don't put more than one in the cooler, you're all right.
Yeah, good luck with that, right?
All right. So, here's the question I called about. I've got, just yesterday, we took in a fledgling house sparrow that was found in a dangerous location. And I've been trying to locate a facility where I could get that bird to, or at least get some help from some kind of facility to rehab that bird so that he can be released into the wild once he is fully self-sufficient. Have you got any directions you can point me in?
Have you checked our website and see the process of looking for a rehabber in this area that takes songbirds?
I've gotten in touch with, actually, I think I saw that the UT Vet Hospital was listed, but when I called, they said that they don't take in songbirds. So I'm kind of, I'm curious if you had any other help for me.
I'm looking at online, probably the same thing you looked at. The only other thing I see, even remotely in our area, is the Little Ponderosa living in Anderson County. Have you tried contacting them?
I have not yet, because some of the other listings that I saw, they weren't included. And I must have missed them on y'all's listing, so I will give them a call.
Yeah, here's the number. It's 865-457-5536. It says under Songbirds that they're listed, so hopefully they can help you out. And I do great. Trying to look out for our critters out there, brother.
Yeah, you bet, man. Mad respect for all of our wildlife. That's why I hunt.
Amen.
A lot of people don't get that.
The hunter is the greatest conservationist there is. You're a sportsmanlike college.
100%.
Managing not deer and turkey and bears and largemouth bass, but songbirds, snakes, frogs, toads, all of it. Still watchful wildlife as well, so thank you.
Yes, sir. You bet. Thank you, guys.
All right, good one. Jason, good call. Thanks for your time today. Appreciate that. 865-656-8255. A few more things about boating season that's about to crank up here in East Tennessee. I want to ask you about Matt and another alligator sighting in the state of Tennessee. We'll dive into that as well. It's Matt Cameron from TWRA. Back in a moment.
Here's 70 degrees this afternoon. More of those downpours and storms develop.
I feel better. Am I happier? It's on the third Wednesday, a big fog goes away. And there's joy.
That was 109. I feel better.
Some important questions. Tune in.
Top 3 and 3, Triple H Radio Experience, News Talk 98.7, WKM.
Cameron, Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Matt joins us on the third Wednesday of each month. Today is that day. A week from Friday, the Memorial Day weekend, which means summer boating season is about to crank up. So we've got a few questions about that, and we kind of really covered a lot regarding boating under the influence in that previous segment. What do you tell folks who have, and I know this question comes up so many times too, who have a private boat dock on their property and they want a no-wake zone declared in that area?
It seems that everyone that lives on the lake,
Yes.
whatever area,
Yes, they do.
the state won't do it. You're wasting your time if it's a private dock. If you have a community dock, I have seen cases where our guy will take into consideration there are a lot of boats at this particular dock, like a community dock, like for a specific what I'm trying to say, subdivision or development. They have their own docks.
Commercial docks or like a restaurant, something like that, where they do
Commercial
that.
docks, yeah, they're going to get it regardless. But like these private docks that belong to a community, we do no wake those. Sometimes they make a really good case. A lot of people come in and out. But as far as just your code that you live on, I'd say it's probably not going to happen. You can submit a request for it. The officer would come out and investigate, take into account other incidents. We see a lot of accidents happening here. Does it need to be? But usually it's not the case.
Al has a question via text. I have a friend that's preparing his 50-foot boat to spend a year on the Intercoastal Waterway. He would like to have an inspection done to make sure it's all ready. Suggestions?
Yes, so we normally point people towards the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary or the U.S. Power Squadrons. Those folks are awesome at inspecting boats and really going through the whole checklist with people, not just, DWR is going to tell you legally this is what you need to be on the water. If it's not going to take it, these folks are going to go the extra mile and tell you this, you need to do these things because they can measure the state and seaworthy and so forth. But that's what I would suggest in fact one of those organizations.
Joshua was asking if you can go over required boating equipment. He has a pontoon boat. What is required by law?
I've always said this, we don't ask them a lot. It's equal. It's pretty simple, really, to have the required equipment on board. And I would start with the registration. Make sure it's displayed on both sides of the boat. What is the valve? Make sure the TN numbers are on there, block letters.
By their super yacht boat?
You can't read. And make sure your validation sticker is on there and that it's current. So it's kind of like an officer on the road. You're still running a 22 or a 23 sticker on your plate, you're going to get pulled over if you have your registration renewed. So that's one way to keep TWR to stop you. Secondly, a wearable U.S. Coast Guard approved life jacket for every person on board the boat. It's in good and serviceable conditions and readily accessible. So make sure you guys those have to be the size for the intended wear. I pulled over boats with adults on board and all they had were children's life jackets. That's not going to cut it.
And those arm floaties don't count either, right?
And water wings. Not Coast Guard approved. So make sure you got those. Make sure you've got a life jacket on the kids while you're underway. So children 12 and under have to wear them if you're underway. Underway means not anchored or a grant. So if the boat is drifting, it's considered underway. The kids need the life jackets on. And I've said this before too. We don't lose a lot of children in boating accidents unless it's a collision or something traumatic like what we saw the last time on the wars with that young man. Most of the time, when they try to go overboard, they're already in a life jacket and they end up getting rescued. So take a lesson from the kids. Wear your life jacket as an adult. That's the best way to get your kid to do it. I go, Dad's going to wear his life jacket, so I'm going to wear mine.
While you're saying that, I'm thinking if we make our kids on a boat wear the life jacket the whole time. Most folks do. Yet we just bebop around ourselves without the life jacket, right? Why not wear it? I'm guessing the Coast Guard doesn't approve the use of its noodle as a flotation device either. Would that be accurate?
You would be
okay.
Okay. They're good for just floating around out there.
Yes.
Not gonna fly because we stop you. Keep going down the list so I don't get too sidetracked. You need a tight cord for control and box. That is where cushion with a handle on it, or a ring buoy like on the SS Minnow or Lifeguard would use. You have to have something in that if you're trying, if someone falls out below or struggling to be thrown to them, so that hopefully you can rescue them. And you also have to have a working 9B fire extinguisher on your boat. And most fire extinguishers I've ever looked at, like A, B, and C, that will just extinguish different types of fires. So, depending on the size of your boat, you have to have, more than one. But basically, if you have installed fuel tanks on your boat that are part of the boat, need the fire extinguisher.
Oh, that's a simple and common sense checklist. It really is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so make that happen. All right, Tony's asking, is it illegal to run docking lights along with your navigation lights while on the water?
It is to run full time. I don't have a problem with boats turning on intermittently, especially this time of year as the water has come up, it's washed out all kinds of debris. You're running at night, you can't see that debris because you don't have headlights on the boat. So if you're turning the spotlight on and docking lights intermittently, hey, make sure there's not a tree floating out here or whatever. I think that's fine, but you can't just leave them on continuously run up and down the lake. And if you've ever been brought by another vehicle, it's worse than the water. If another boat has lights on there directed towards you, it blinds you, it reflects off the water, and it's really, really hard to see where you're going. And furthermore, it shines your red and blue navigation lights, so it's able to clean the course correctly.
Dean, appreciate your time. Thank you for holding, and good morning. You're on with Matt Cameron, Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency.
Good morning, Jim. My question has to do with noise. Is there other noise ordinances on the lake like there is for the land? Like, I'm not really talking about radios and stuff, but like these boats that have like the car engines in them and open headers and stuff like that are just so loud. Is there an ordinance for that for boats like there is for automobiles?
Yes. There is. Unless it's changed, I believe it's 86 decibels is the minimum from a distance of 50 feet. So there is a level. Now, for us to be able to do something about that, we would have to come out with a decibel meter, set up a scenario where that boat passes by at a distance of 50 feet and see if it exceeds that level. So it's not many cases made doing that, but yes, there is a law in the book. So if there's an issue with it, I would suggest contacting our poaching hotline at 1-800-831-1174 and say, hey, we've got a boat out. It's just ridiculously loud. We'd like to come out and take a look. Hopefully we can make that happen.
Right. Okay. Thanks, man.
Hey, Dean, appreciate you. Thanks for your time today. 865-656-8255. Matt Cameron, Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. When we get back on Yarborough, another alligator sighting in West Tennessee. Let's dive into that. A new nighttime predator hunting season that TWRA has recently enacted. And some more of your boating questions. Man, I think boating is it this visit, Matt, since Memorial Day weekend is fast approaching. We'll be back with more from Matt Cameron, TWRA, and News Talk 98.7.
Your most reliable news and emergency. Our fire breaks out here.
We'll get into that.
¿Cómo te llamas?
Boating season started.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas? When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Travel is designed to act boldly on.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babel.
Travis, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com. Reliable news connection. Talk 98.7.
Back on Yarborough, back with Matt Cameron, Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Boating season starts, I guess, officially on Friday. That's the Memorial Day weekend. So a lot of boating questions, and we've kind of covered a lot of these. We'll get into the alligator question in just a moment. Jack is asking, does your fire extinguisher on board a boat have to be mounted or even visible? And at what age is a life jacket required?
So your fire extinguisher does have to be visible. or mounted. It can be in a compartment somewhere. As long as you know where it's at, you can get to it pretty easily in case of an emergency. Fire breaks out, you don't have to dig out a whole bunch of crap to get to it. So yeah, just have where you can get to it in case you need it. Some boats come with a Halon type fire extinguishing system already installed in the boat. It's an indoor boat, a bigger, more expensive type vessel. A lot of those have installed. It detects smoke. It'll kind of like a sprinkler system in the building. It will engage and hopefully put the fire out. But most people are just carrying the portable fire extinguisher. Check those. They do go bad. They've got a gauge on them. Just look at the gauge before you go out every year. Shake it up. Get that powder moving around in there. And then some of them have a little green button too. It's like a pressure. When you push the button down, if it pops out, it still has pressure inside. That means it's good. So kids in life jackets, they're 12 and under, once again, if the child hasn't reached their 13th birthday, they still have to wear their PFD in the vessel that's underway. You know, if you want to set that at 16 or whatever age on your boat, go for it. Lie to them and tell them it's, so you're 21 years old, you know, but that is what the law says.
It's 12 and under 13.
12 and under have to wear them. They get that 13th birthday.
Okay, so up to 13, you gotta have that jacket on. Once you hit 13, you're in the clear there. One of our listeners is having an issue. This is totally not anything to do with boating, but I do want to ask it. He's got raccoons kind of stealing things off of his porch. Since there are suggestions for prevent.
I like the way they're stealing.
He said it his porch. Do you still want to know what they're stealing?
Man, you know, it's hard times. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's just what he's saying. I don't know.
Usually it's food related. It's my asshole. It's or food or dog.
Yeah.
Everyone's porch, but you can trap those things pretty easily with a live trap, like a cage type trap with a can of cat food, you know, in there, or something you sweet, a little jelly, marshmallows. If you want to trap them and kill them, you can do that on your own property. You can hire someone else to come in and do it. But as far as stealing clothes, man, I don't really have any. I can do that. I can build a nest maybe out of it.
Yeah, I don't know. There you go. There's the answer. Another quick question. We'll move on to the alligator. Why does an inflatable life jacket not count as a life jacket unless the operator is wearing it? That's from Joe. I'm guessing the whole Coast Guard approved angle on this would be my answer, but I'll let the expert weigh in.
There are two different types of inflatable life jackets, and you have to read the placard inside it. Some of them says it's only approved if it's worn, and others don't have that in it. So that's what most farmers look at. You have some inflatable inside and see. So it's not really a great system, but the whole point, in my mind, of having a inflatable life jacket is that you will wear it. Because they're not light, they're not bulky and cumbersome and all that. They're pretty loosely fitting, and it's a good option for people going there to be big, heavier, inherently good life jackets. No shrink that you wear it, period, and it's not going to be an issue.
Coast Guard approved, man. That sums it up too, right?
It does. Yeah.
There you go. All right, this next news headline seems to be happening more and more. Alligator, this one reportedly 7, 8, I've even seen 9 feet long, spotted in West Tennessee near Memphis recently. Is this happening more in West Tennessee?
Yeah, I would say the sightings are increasing in recent years. Since 2018, we've had sightings in Harvey, Fayette, Shelby County, that's southwestern corner of Tennessee. Andy Tweedy, one of my bosses out there in Shelby County, he said we've had just over 30 years. So they've been there. I just think we're seeing more. Is it a climate change issue? You know, I've got these feelings on climate change. I think those are getting worse. Is it landfalls? I don't know if I can really say that, but it could be a sign of that. You know, they're migrating a little further north than what we usually do. The temperature milder than typically really healthy here, but it is a native animal to West Tennessee. I think people understand that.
It is native?
Yeah, it's a part of their range, but we're seeing more of them as time goes by, and we just want people to recognize that, to respect them, don't poke at them. Same things people recommend from people not doing this. Bears don't approach them, don't feed them. You don't save them from a distance. I've already got videos of this little alligator with people out there with sticks, poking at it.
That rarely goes well. Yeah, continue to do it, yes. Is there any reason to believe gators will eventually be spotted in Middle Tennessee and then at some point East Tennessee?
So I don't think it will happen here other than like what we saw last month. And it's within April, and the $2 was on board. Yeah, there's the 3-foot gator. Unless they are brought here and released illegally, I don't think it ever happened here in East Tennessee. Like a native population or a breeding population. Middle Tennessee, I would have typically said no, but do a little research, and there's a refuge in North Alabama, the Tennessee River that dips down in Alabama. It's back in the 70s, they stopped. I wouldn't say people are sticking the alligators in that area because back then the gator numbers were really declining. I think there was a big push to try to save the alligators as a endangered species that they were looking to increase their numbers. So that's not far from Middle Tennessee. It's the south of the line there where it dips down. So evidently there are alligators in that area already. Could they push further up north into Tennessee on the river, going each way? Yeah, I think it's a possibility. But I guess when the time will go.
Can you capture or kill an alligator in Tennessee? Neither one.
There's no season on without a hunting season on it. If you poke at it with a stick or you're harassing it, there's protection on blocks from harassment of people. So it is illegal to do that. Just enjoy it from a distance.
How do you determine if a gator, like you mentioned one that was discovered here not that long ago, about 3 feet long, pretty sure it was someone's pet and it just got too big and they just threw it out in the wild. Is there a specific thing you can look for to determine whether it's a pet that was released or if it's just a wild alligator? Or do you just take all the information into account and make a determination based on that?
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about alligators. I hate gators. It's
coming out there, right?
Alligator
college football.
I would wear boots, native gators, if I could afford them. Sorry. Outside of that, I'd say that joking. It would be cool to go on them. I think, it's a neat crew. You got to respect them, but this is not gator country figuratively or literally.
All right, tell me about the new night predator hunting season that has been enacted by TWRA.
Yeah, so we are finally giving the hunters what they want. They've been pushing for years. We have a predator hunting season, specifically coyotes and bobcats, and so the commission passed that, I guess, at our last commission meeting, where it's going to be a season coming up, and this is the regs screw this up, but it's going to be on private land only, so you can't go on wildlife management areas and do it. On private land, you have to written condition with the land to do that. Right now, you need permission. You only need written permission to make the decision. They're going to be all the way around the rules of the law. You need written permission to hunt coyotes and bobcats at night on private property. Kill one bobcat per night, no hunt coyotes. Cannot dog. There are guys that go hunt coyotes with dogs. A dog in the daytime, but you can't hunt with dogs at night. The season is not going to open until after our next deer hunting season closes. So it'll be next January 2025. The season for bobcats and coyotes at night will open up on March the 9th. And then it's going to reopen the first Saturday in June and runs through August the 10th of 2025. Now, I think the hunters are happy. They finally get their season here. Part a lot of them aren't going to be happy with. It's going to be shotgun only. And the reason I say they're not going to be happy is a lot of these guys have these tricked out AR platform type guns that got all the night vision, the thermal, whatever on them. Spend a ton of cash on it. They want to get out there and trap coyotes, and I get it. It's cool. But the commission passed it for only shotguns, no single ball ammunition. We can't use a glove. We have to use a shotgun top load with multiple pellets inside. So, you can use thermal imaging and night vision, but it can only be attached to a shotgun or handheld binoculars. You couldn't use that on a rifle.
Is there any limits on, you say nighttime, is it just any time at night, or is there a limit on when you can be out and about doing this?
I don't have it for me. I think I read the other day it's going to be 30 minutes after sunset, still 30 minutes before sunrise.
So you got a long period there to do this. What do you think led to the enactment of this? Is it a population control thing, or what is it?
I think it will help somewhat control populations, and we've talked about coyotes, but they're here to stay. You're never going to get rid of them. If somebody hits them pretty hard and is adamant about it, it might knock them back locally in a certain geographic area. I think it's more there's a push from the hunters that want to do this than anything. A lot of other states already had it open, and it was a matter of time before we finally caved and let them have it. It's always been a safety issue for TWRA. People at night with guns, shooting, and that's why one of the reasons spotlight a deer at night is illegal. You don't know what's on the other side. What you're shooting at, you can't see. There'll be a house over there, or the side, or whatever. But by limiting it to shotguns only, that's really going to cut down the range that ammunition is going to travel before traffic takes over and falls back to earth. So I think that squashed the safety issue somewhat. I think high-powered rifles.
Can you spotlight?
Yeah, you can shine a light at night, shoot that way as well.
Coyotes, bobcats.
Correct.
Matt Cameron, we got one final segment. We'll wrap things up with a few more of your questions in just a moment on York Road and News Talk 98.7.
Only getting to about 70 degrees this afternoon with more of those widespread downpours and storms popping up.
No matter how you the attractions East Tennessee has to a 1206. Richard sets declines in the Smoky. 4 lines wide. Catch a cloud as you zip over 1 mile. Bring the family and enjoy the all-day adventure wristband. Pay once price for unlimited. Visit Overmountain.com for tickets. Overmountain, your destination for adventure in the heart of Gatlinburg. This Friday morning at 9, visit NewsTalk987.com for this week's sweet deal. Get 2 unlimited wristbands to Overmountain for the price of 1. Sweet deals are your opportunity to experience some of the finest restaurants and attractions East Tennessee has to offer at unbeatable values. Again, get this week's sweet deal this Friday morning at 9 at NewsTalk987.com.
All right, let's wrap it up here with Matt Cameron, TWRA, and get out of the way for the Rocky Trappers News at the top of the hour, and Dan Bongino at 12:06. Richard says he's seen a lot of young does in his neighborhood in Oak Ridge the past couple of weeks. What do you know about more deer being reported this year? Is this just kind of a...
Haven't heard anything from our folks about deer densities increasing other than anecdotal data would say that the deer population is growing, especially in urban areas. There are some places, Calico Village, got a lot of deer living in there, and it's hard to control them because it's hard to have a hunt in a place like that. There's basically this guy likes the deer, his neighbor hates them, wants to get rid of them, so it's not a simple fix. But personally, I think it's good to hear. We got an increase in deer.
Well, a lot of development going on too, and that's really kind of squeezing them out of some areas, I would imagine. So maybe it's pushing them into areas where they normally haven't been. Chris is asking about armadillos. Are they here to stay?
I think so. I've seen one down the road that's been hit. They've been moving this way for quite a while. So yeah, I would expect we'll see more of them as time goes by.
All right. Mike is asking about alligators. If we're seeing more in West Tennessee, what about water moccasins? I think he's asking, okay, if gators start coming this way, and there's no reason to think right now that they're going to move toward East Tennessee, but what about water moccasins?
They have been in West Tennessee for years, pretty much where the Tennessee River comes back up west of where it runs through the western part of the state. They've always been out there. People talk about seeing them here in East Tennessee. I've never had a confirmation that someone has seen an actual cottonmouth here. We have 6 or 7 different water snakes in our snake buddy.
Yeah,
We get back in here
yeah.
to talk about this, but we have a lot of other snakes. They are pretty big and critters. They are not mounts, so I don't expect that we'll ever have them this far east.
You know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing that the wildlife themes that we've been discussing, more gators in West Tennessee, water moccasins in East Tennessee, we've always said after it dips down the river, dips down into Alabama and comes back into the state. Seems like it's beyond that dip down to Alabama. We need to get TVA on board to reroute and just remove Alabama from the whole river system, and maybe some of these wildlife issues would settle down in West Tennessee. Just a thought.
I'm for you. The Tennessee River is a bit wise, and when it goes to Alabama, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, right. So, hey, I'm heading back, man. June 8th, big free fishing day. How do folks get involved with this?
Yeah, so June the 8th is our Bobby Wilson Free Fishing Day. Bobby was our chief of fisheries for a long time. He was a director for a while. Thank you for him. So on June the 8th, you can fish for free in the state of Tennessee. Anybody can. We are having a lot of youth programs that day in this particular area. There's a K-Town Free Youth Fishing Week kickoff at Victor Ash Park. Duck Pond in Alcoa is having the kids fishing derby. Up in Jeff County, there's a free fishing day at Spring Creek Road. Oneida City Park Lake is having one. Gatlinburg at, let's see, Outdoor Results at Gatlinburg Park Lake is the name of it. I'm not exactly sure where Gatlinburg Park Lake is, but they're having an event for kids. One more in Jellicoe, the Bader Davis Memorial Fishing Rodeo. So there's some opportunities in this general area that you can take kids to, and hopefully they'll catch some fish.
Free fishing for anybody. You don't need a license or anything on June the 8th.
Yeah, any age can fish for free that day. And the week following Free Fishing Day, I think youth ages 13 to 16, 13, 14, and 15. So yeah, they can continue fishing for free the rest of that week. Adults, you only get one day there on Saturday, June the 8th. Yeah, for free. That's okay, the license out.
Noticed you guys, TWRA, recently stocked 5 community lakes with catfish across the state, and there are a couple here in East Tennessee. How significant is this? What are the locations?
Yeah, the two here in East Tennessee are the same ones that the trout during winter community fishing program. So the Greenbelt Lake in Maryville and the Tennessee Lake in Knoxville both receives catfish. It's probably April 27th, I think, was the date they're putting there. There will be 2 more stockings up there this month, sometime later in May, and again in June. So putting catfish in there, trying to create a warm weather, warm water type of fish for folks to enjoy.
What is your bait of choice for said catfish?
For catfish, I'm pretty basic. If I catfish, I'm probably instant nightcrawler on there. There's guys who use the chicken livers and all that other sneaky bait and stuff. Catfish, the ones that I've caught so many different things. They're pretty, they're not that picky, especially these soft fish. They're not that smart, so if they come across something that smells and looks good to them, you probably get them.
I remember as a kid in a lake by our house out in the country of Mississippi, we had put a trot line out there, and we baited it with fried wieners and caught an 8-pound catfish using fried wieners, man. So I think it was probably, you said they'll eat anything. I think that's good proof there. Greg is asking if there's anything that can be done about nuisance Canadian geese on your property.
The Canadian geese are migratory birds. They're managed by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. So TWRA can't give you permission to control any federally protected birds. So if you want to contact U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, USDA Wildlife Service, under them that you want to contact, tell them what the problem is, and hopefully they'll come up with some solutions. It may not be lethal control, they have other ideas to help you. But yeah, give them a call. There is an office here in Huntsville, USDA Wildlife Service office. But that's where I was from.
All right, appreciate your questions there. TWRA's 75th anniversary is off this year, and we'll be talking more about this as we move forward. But what impact would you say TWRA has had on the state, specifically, of course, in the wildlife region of it?
The first thing that sticks out in my mind is on social media, of course, people say anything and everything, but we get almost daily in our feed. Don't be a God-given right. the license in the states of abortion. We shouldn't be able to do that. We should be able to hunt, fish, and free, and should be regulations on it. I understand the freedom end of it. God didn't put these animals here for included. We have to do that. Applies to what man has proven throughout history is they will not do the right thing until there's no other option. When we start running out of animals, and it's like, oh no, we need to limit the number of fish that you can catch, the number of deer and turkeys that you can kill, because we have seen that happen in this state. 100 years ago, they wiped out everything. We ran out. The buffalo was here, the mountain lion, the elk, all of those were native animals. The red wolf, they killed those things out. The elephants came back because we restocked them, and then the deer, the bear, and the turkey, the populations of them were almost gone. Everyone in here would dare say seen a deer, and probably heard of seen a turkey, and a lot of folks have seen bear. The numbers of all those things are established, re-established now, but there was a time of polls on those things. So that, in my mind, sticks out. That we have to have a government agency to manage and serve the fish and wildlife estate for the use, benefit, and enjoy always. The people, it doesn't keep knowing. People do not do the right thing. What is the saying to err is human, to forget divine? We'll screw things up if given the opportunity as human.
Well, and the money from those licenses goes to a lot of different things that TWRA does, which go back into all the different hunting programs and the different things that you guys work with across the state. So there's there's kind of a whole big mechanism here that just continues to feed itself. For sure.
Thank you. I apologize for that.
Yeah, thank you, buddy. Well, we'll talk to you again next month. Good luck in that summer season, man. Memorial Day weekend. Appreciate you always. Matt Cameron, TWRA. We'll see you tomorrow at 10 here on Yarborough at News Talk 98.
There are big surprises.
98.7 WQA actually with it. Is obviously to the north claims inflation.
The medical center and died from its injury.
1 point even had some financial leadership skills. And zero counts to see the Henry U. Everything in Hebrew at TennesseeHome.us.
Still presented by
Producing Bolton. That's why we don't infuriates me. Hey, here's Biden's surprise in the air.
Yeah, it's
The Financial Studio. You're listening to the dance. Keeping up with my schedule.
said,
If they
540 exit, get Swain and Steve Hayes.
And we've got to have a strong commander-in-chief.
Found 2 years ago.
And we've got to have a strong commander-in-chief that will make them release this stuff. And I'm going to...
Is involved in this case.
Now, they are planning a public...
And we've got to have...
Is involved in this case.
Not demolition, even it's drive charge.
It's only getting to about 70 degrees this afternoon with more of those widespread downpours and storms popping up this afternoon to evening. Drop to 59 degrees overnight. We've got more sunshine on the way later Thursday with highs back in the lower 80s. From the WBLT First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Coach Noah.
Named one of the best personal finance podcasts, The Stacking Benjamin Show with Joe and his friends makes financial literacy fun.
Eric Chester. It's drive charge.
That old kids in the show. Starts. Yeah. And salutations, welcome to this brand new afternoon. This afternoon's never been lived before. It's a blank canvas, if you will it. So you can read your measurement. You gotta do the afternoon, think of 3 things for which you're grateful. And then do the afternoon with all the joy, wonder, enthusiasm, and gratitude you can muster. Hashtag TYG, turn it up. For the wonderful opportunity to hang out with you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for.
But him is the favorite.
Thank you.
Because when he's in a relationship, he struggles. When he's out of a relationship, he kicks ass. Filed for divorce on Monday. He won on Sunday. And he won the week before as well. So he seems to be really starting to turn it up. So maybe stay single for a while. That's all I'm saying. That's it.
We got a show for you today. We're gonna. I have a radical proposal. I am going to lay it. You are going to reject. You are going to listen to me this afternoon with rigid feet and clenched fists. You are going to let me. That's presuming someone can do this. You're not going to lie. Because I am going to make a common sense proposal this afternoon. You will digest this with clenched fist and gritted teeth and furrowed brow. This may displease you, but I am asking you. You at least think about what I'm going to put on the table today. We also are going to talk about AI and other things, so please get ready. Remember, Al loves the kids. Al loves you. I want to take an afternoon to my colleagues. First, we start with the one and only Mr. Bob Yarborough, 10 to noon every day. He thrills you with a wonderful talk show. He's a yeoman. He's our boss. But he's the kind of boss, he don't roll up his sleeves and do it. Phew. So he has rolled up his sleeves, and now he is anchoring the news. He is the one who brings the coal in every morning for our generator. Walks uphill both ways. Good afternoon, Bob.
And snow.
It's snow.
Buddy, I've got a short sleeve shirt on. My sleeves aren't rolled up, and I got a jacket on top of that. So
Look, I got my big puffer jacket on.
exactly, it's got nothing to do with the outside temperature, ladies and gentlemen. It's the inside this building.
When you try to find the right temperature, right, in these studios, you want it to stay cool. But cool is cold if you were thin layered. Not thin skin, thin layered. And so, like, let the room stay cool, Albert. Follow the Bob Yarborough protocol,
man.
And later.
That's quite an impressive jacket you've got.
I love this. It's my favorite of all my jackets. It's my favorite puffer jacket.
Now I'm at a distance, but that looks like it might be Gore-Tex.
No, it is not. It is not. And it's not waterproof, I think. But it is warm. Oh, man. And it has the, it feels like I'm wearing a hug. But not like a Chris Marion hug, like a real hug.
Oh, what have we been? Prison hugs or lack in effort, perhaps?
Have you ever had one of his handshakes? Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I have. I've not to the point that I've noticed.
He's not a good hugger and shaker.
Really?
Yeah. No, you want him in a foxhole, but he's not going to hug the buckles. He's not going to have
A little limpish?
Yeah, he's not. Yeah. Anyway, good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon.
Say good afternoon to Christopher David D. Morning, a.k.a. Little Daddy, a.k.a. Shock Tooth, a.k.a. Controller's Grouch, a.k.a. the trolling controller of this broadcast, a.k.a. Skinny Minnie, a.k.a. Hey You Kids, a.k.a. the Elder of you. No, Mary. You will own the pitch next week, right? Olympic Hucklebucks is what socially committed No, I said this puffer jacket that I'm wearing this afternoon, I said it feels like I'm wearing a hug, but not a Chris Marion. You're not. The way you shake hands, where you, well, you know, I don't know, we'll call it that. You get what I'm saying? No.
He does. He actually does.
He drops a hand in there, and he'll tuck the thumb, and there's no tension in his hand, so you feel like you're holding a Olympus. Yeah. And it throws people off because he just drops it in there, and it feels so suspect. It's an attempt to, but what I understand is Chris is a germaphobe. He gives you the first handshake on the house. He makes that experience so unpleasant that you stop reaching for him and you go straight to a fist bump or a salute. And then he gets you out of his room and gets your hands off him. So I understand.
But see, the germ transfer doesn't know if it's limpish or a solid. It doesn't know and it doesn't care. The same transfer happens. So if you're going to worry about that, yeah, throw a good handshake at him.
Now, see, here's the thing. Germs don't even want to mess with Chris. Like, germs go, oh yeah, my bad.
Could have ended COVID with that limpish handshake. You just spread that around the nation.
Good afternoon, Christopher. Will you unwed your motorcycle next week? Perhaps. I still don't want to do it until I get this kid. That's just the truth. I hate leaving the cars outside. Okay. Especially mine. Mine has a leak that I just don't like. Okay. And I don't want to take it to drive. Gotcha. So do you have a pan in the garage that I got a little carpet and stuff. Yeah, catches the leak. Yeah. Don't want to be leaking. I don't want to put the leak carpet on the driveway. I got you. I do. I know there's a strategy. Yeah, there's a strategy. I know it's thought out. I'm going to present something today. I think that I make it. I don't know, but I embrace them for vast rejection. Well, my heart is good. But I'm grateful for coming. Yeah.
Quite right. This report is sponsored by Tire Rack. Nearly 3,000, but more than half of that weight is in. Relief Factor does to
be what retirement looks like. 65862-6800. Get back to the thing 800 by not talking to the AF. As he talks about designing, we can 60. All right, so I jumped in the 2 feet. Nothing in great brought to you by Knoxville Land Design Detail. The Knoxville Land Design. Let's go. Yeah, GPT Store. The developers were talking to the AI. The AI was talking back to Power Station.
Very clear. He's been having trouble sleeping lately. And I want you to tell me the bedtime story about robots and love.
Once upon a time, there was a robot named White. Let's do this in a robotic voice now. Initiating dramatic robotic voice. Once upon a time.
Can you end the story? But do it in a singing voice.
And they lived circuitly ever after. Bob Gaspar wants to know if GPT-4o is capable of real-time translation. Mark, io mi chiedo se le balene potessero parlare, cosa ci direbbero? She wonders if whales could talk, what would they tell us? Potrebbero chiederci come risolviamo le equazioni
lineari.
Sicuramente sì.
So I'm going to show you a selfie of what I look like, and then I'd like you to try to see what emotions I'm feeling based on how I'm looking.
It looks like you're feeling pretty happy and cheerful.
The reason I'm in a really good mood is because we're doing a presentation showcasing how useful and amazing you are.
Oh, stop it. You're making me laugh.
You're making me laugh. Okay. Like never did. Never so President Biden has thrown down the guard. President Biden.
Donald Trump walked through debates in 2020. Since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. This makes my day, pal. I'll even do it twice. First pick the dates, Donald. Here the preambles. Donald Trump walked through debates in 2020. Since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. This makes my day, pal. I'll even do it twice. First pick the dates, Donald. Here the preambles.
Okay. That's certainly and then go back to highlights from previous Trump-Biden debates. Here's a little quick rewind.
Nobody has done more for the black community than Donald Trump. And if you look, with the exception of Abraham Lincoln, possible exception, but the exception of Abraham Lincoln, nobody has done what I've done. I am the least racist person. I can't even see the audience because it's so dark. But I don't care who's in the audience. I'm the least racist person in this room.
Okay, Vice President Biden, let me ask you very quickly, and then I have a follow-up question for you.
Abraham Lincoln here is one of the most racist presidents we've had in modern history. He pours fuel on every single racist fire. Every single one. Started off his campaign coming down the escalator saying he's going to get rid of those Mexican rapists. He's banned Muslims because they're Muslims. He has moved around and made everything worse across the board. He said about the poor boys, last time we were on the stage here, he said, I told them to stand down and stand ready. Come on, this guy is a dog before about as big as a dog. You keep talking about all these things you're going to do, and you're going to do this, but you were there just a short time ago, and you guys did nothing. We did. Joe, I ran because of you. I ran because of Barack Obama, because you did a poor job. If I thought you did a good job, I would have never run. I ran because of you. I'm looking at you now. You're a politician. I ran because of you.
All right, Vice President Biden, your response to that, and then I do have some questions for both of you.
Well, I'll tell you what, I hope he does look for me, because what's happening here is you know who I am, you know who he is, you know his character, you know my character, you know our reputation for honor and telling the truth. I am anxious to have this race. I am anxious to see this take place. I am the character of the country is on the ballot. Our character is on the ballot. Look at his quote. We have to make a country totally successful, and it was prior to the plague coming in from China. Now we're rebuilding it, and we're doing record numbers, 11.4 million jobs in a short period of time, etc. Success is going to bring us together. We are on the road to success, but I'm cutting taxes, and he wants to raise everybody's taxes, and he wants to put new regulations on everything. He will kill it. If he gets in, you will have a depression the likes of which you've never seen. I'm the American president. I represent all of you, whether you voted for me or against me. And I'm going to make sure that you're represented. They're going to give you hope. We're going to move. We're going to choose science over fiction. We're going to choose hope over fear. We're going to choose to move forward because we have